Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing green for the monochromatic makeup look. So of course, as we get into the latter part of the rainbow, the G Biv portion, you're gonna see a little less wearable looks. Obviously, most people's focus will be the eyes, but of course I wanted to tie in the blush and the lips as like that corresponding shade. So this is my green lip. And I hope you like this look. I hope you like this video. I hope you enjoyed the first 3 videos. If you haven't seen them, I'm going to link them down below. Of course, we've done red, orange, and yellow. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I'm RLQ.Rosie on Instagram. That's where most of you guys know me from. Don't forget to follow me there if you're not already. And if you are coming here from Instagram, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn my notifications on because I will be finishing this series with Biv, Blue, Indigo, Violet, and I'm really excited for that. So of course I hope you come back, but let's just get right into the video. I don't have anything else really to say except for my hair looks like Dookie. Yeah, my hair looks like Dookie, so I will see you at the end. Okay, so we're gonna just jump right into today's video because I want to go work out. But this is the BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil palette, and I feel like this one has a great range of greens, and since that's today's color, we're going to dip into this shade right here. There you go, focus. I actually just dropped this palette and lost this shade yesterday, as well as the highlighter is beginning to crumble. Okay. I'm not sure if I've used this palette so far in the series because in my yellow, I started to, and then when I went to redo my look, I don't know if you guys watched that video, I actually forgot which shades I used, so I ended up not using it. I don't really remember, and I haven't looked at the footage yet because I'm doing these back to back. So, if you haven't seen that video, don't forget to watch it. I will link it down below so you guys can go ahead and see what I'm talking about. But that one first. There's a lot of beautiful greens in my collection. These are the ones that I'm drawn to the most, of course. But we're gonna go into one from the Alien palette, of course. By the way, have y'all heard about the Area 51 raid? I probably shouldn't talk about that on my channel because I'm probably gonna get demonetized. But we're gonna go into Flying Saucer. So fitting. Come on, focus. Going into Flying Saucer here. This is a flat shader. This is actually, it's for concealer from Luxie Beauty. And we're going up. I'm going to try once again to do a halo eye. But if it starts to suck, I'm just going to tell you guys right now that I will be wiping it off and not going that direction. I just don't like the way halo eyes look on my eyes. I think I mentioned that in my orange video. If you guys haven't seen that one, I will link that one down below. But I also really want to play with multiple shades of green. And I feel like the best way to do that is to create a gradient liner. You guys know I love doing that, so that might be what I do instead. But stay tuned to find out. I feel like I'm going to kind of rush through this video, mostly because I had an idea what I wanted to do with this look to begin with. So it's not like I'm sitting here staring kind of at a loss for what I want to do, feeling uninspired. Greens are very pretty and fun to work with, so it's easy to just be like, okay, I want to like be a freaking sea mermaid monster. You guys might be hearing my washer and dryer in the background. It gets the washer. It's pretty loud. So for the deepest green, I'm going to go into, this is the Exotic Peacock palette from Pinky Rose. I'm telling you guys, for colorful palettes or like a pop of color in their palettes, Pinky Rose is like a hidden gem. So I'm going to go into this shade here. This is Discreet. Yeah, this is Discreet. It's kind of a hunter green shade and I really like it. So we're going to take Harry Potter brush. We're going to take this. We're going to deepen the heck out of that crease and blend it up. Actually, we're going to go all the way down. Okay, let me go ahead and finish blending this for you guys. Just because I'm running out of space on my computer again, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I got that blended out properly. I'm going to go into some concealer. And I'm almost out of this, guys, so you guys won't have to see it anymore, but you guys know it's one of my favorite formulas aside from the Jeffree Star one. I feel like those two are the best, like, that work well with my skin. Even Too Faced, like, I love Too Faced in general, and I love their setting powder, but their Shape Tape isn't my business. And there. Actually, I think I'm gonna go a little bit higher. Clean this side up. I like to keep the lid a little bit stained. I think I mentioned that in my last video. But like here, I've been cleaning this up a lot more, so I'm not kind of packing on as much, because then I have to clean it up with concealer or foundation again. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to overdo it, so I don't. If that made any sense. Okay, so I'm going to take, so this is what I tried to do in my last video, and I did not like the way it looked. Next, this is the Zulu palette by Juvias Place. I've had this palette for so long and I hardly use it. I'm going to dip into the green shade here. There's a lot of really pretty green metallics that I want to play with today, but I don't know if I'm going to play with them all. And I'm going to go all over the upper part of my lid with that. Just the upper part, because there's so many metallics, like I said, I want to play with, that I think I'm going to use a different metallic towards the bottom. Or top. I haven't decided yet. It was really hard to choose between this one and Jeffree Star's from the Alien palette, which I might still do. Don't count that one out quite yet, because I might still be going into it, you know. So we are going back into this one here. This is the Exotic Peacock palette. As I mentioned, their green shades are phenomenal. So we're going to go back into Deceit. I think I just used the wrong brush. This is a Morphe brush. We'll see if I can make it work. And then we're going to start creating the wing. Since this is the one I used in my crease, this is the one I want to use for my liner. And I'm going to be deepening it with a different shade here shortly. So the next shade I want to go into, this is from the Profusion Chocolates palette. I know this is like the weirdest out of place palette, and it's mostly browns, but it has this really gorgeous green. I'm going to use the same brush to kind of deepen this up a little bit, because it's so pretty. Like, I used it for, I don't even know what you would consider that eye look I did. I will link that one down below. It's on Instagram. I didn't do an actual video with it, but I love that look. In fact, that look was one I did right after I had my wisdom tooth pulled. So my face is so swollen, and I'm like trying to go like this so you guys can't see. It was glorious, guys. Okay, and back into this palette. I'm really obsessed with this palette, to be honest. Like, I love the shade. So this is the deeper metallic green that I wanted to go into. This is Provocative. Go ahead and just get some of that. And this is what I'm going to ombre out my wing with. So it's still metallic. Like, look how pretty of a green that is. It's such a gorgeous, like, almost ivy green versus a neon green. And I feel like there are a lot of metallic... I feel like there are a lot of neon greens versus traditional metallic greens, which is really good. I think the only other brand that might have some good ones that I like are the ones from Makeup Geek, if they even make them still. So I'm gonna go all the way out. I feel like for this particular look, the eye look is going to be a little bit more simple for you guys. And then I want to like show a lot more green on the face with like the highlighters, because I feel like there's a lot of gorgeous green highlighters out there that are so underrated. Next, I'm going to go into this palette. This is the Glitter Mix palette from Model's Own. I think it's so underrated, and it has some gorgeous glitters. I mean, they're just basic glitters, but they I don't even know how to explain it, but they make, but they're easy to apply because they already have like the adhesive in them. So I'm going to do this right a little bit over the wing, kind of like what I do with my red look, just to add a little bit of a pop and definition to the actual wing. I feel like every single look that I've done has had some glitter. And I'm so sorry if you guys don't like glitter. But of course you guys can leave the glitter out. I just do it to add a little bit more fun to the look. For my inner highlight, I'm going to use 2 different greens. So I want to go into this inner corner with a little bit of neon, which is going to be this green here from the, this green here from the BH Cosmetics palette. So I'm going to take this one and then pop that on my inner corner. And then we're going to go into Money Honey from Jeffree Star. This is one of my favorite underrated skin frosts. It has like the perfect goldish green tint. And that's what I'm going to pop in over that yellow. Look how pretty that looks together. So let me go ahead and do this other eye off camera and I will be right back. Okay, and we're back with both eyes done. I am going to go back into the Jeffree Star palette, I think. Yeah, we're going to go into this screen because I really like this screen a lot more than the other ones. And I have my under eye kind of baking, if you will, just so that if anything falls under, I'm not staining my face. But we're going to go ahead and smoke out the bottom lash line, green AF, of course. And then to kind of also go in a little bit further, we're going to go into Alien. And I'm going to take this, go lash line and connect it right in the front. I'm going to go into the Street Art palette. This is one I've talked about, and I think in every single video since I've started this series. We're going to go into this shade right here. This is Wasabi. And it has a little bit of a yellow tint, and I really like the way yellow looked as a blush the other day. So we're going to take that one. And yeah, that looks good. I like that. And use that as a blush. Kind of like Poison Ivy vibes. Okay, so for highlight, we're going to go into a green highlight, of course. I'm going to set really quick so that my face has some moisture to it for when I apply the highlighter. So this is Candy Apple Drip from Jeffree Star. Again, I feel like Jeffree Star has some of the best green highlighters. I am going to go in with an eyeshadow brush, as I usually do with Supreme Frost, so that I can kind of work it in the best. It is super, super green. I think I mentioned this in my review video, first impressions video. I will be blending this in, of course, so don't get alarmed. Those of you guys who are like, oh my god, that's too much. Of course, the whole point of this series is to show you guys what green stuff looks like on the face. Then I'm going to dab it out. This shade is really pretty dabbed out. I feel like once you apply it at first, it's like super harsh, super overwhelming, and some people are like, oh my god, no, can't do that. But once it's blended in a little bit, I would use a sponge, but my sponge isn't wet right now, except for the foundation side, and I don't want to mix in, any foundation quite yet. So let me go ahead and finish this, and then I'm going to actually use more blush to kind of blend it in a lot more together, just so it softens it and kind of ties it together. So I'll be right back. For lips, we're going to go into the Equality Bundle, and we're going to use the Equality shade. I was going to go into Crocodile Tears because that was my, that's my OG favorite green lipstick. But this one kind of took the cake once it was released last year. It's just like a true green. Okay, so I think that's it for this particular look. Go up a little bit with this leftover shadow. I'm going to go ahead and, I don't have green. I do like the way that looks. Obviously, y'all will not be wearing this in person or in real life, but still, just in case you guys wanted to, you guys could. This is perfectly fine. But I'm going to pop on some Allure lashes. These are from House of Lashes. And I will be right back. And we are back, so let's just jump right into it. There's a lot of green in a lot of palettes, and I kind of wanted to use as many as I could, but of course it's really hard. There's palettes that I have that also have green, but these are the ones that I use in this particular look that I was drawn to. So of course when I, like my other videos, when I thought of what I want to do for green, I thought of these particular palettes because I knew these shades were the ones I wanted to play with one way or another. So here we go. Exotic Peacock, like I mentioned during the Get Ready With Me portion, this palette has, like, cool, this brand has so many greens, so many yellows, so many oranges, so many pinks. Like, it is such a great brand for outside the box colors, like colors you would not expect to see in your everyday palette. And that's what I love about their palettes, and that's why I've used 3 of them now in my videos. So these are the 2 I used in my look. I use this of course in the crease, and I use this of course on the liner, but they're really pretty. This is kind of more of a hunter green. Did you say hunter green? Yeah, a hunter green. I think that's what I described it as during my Get Ready With Me portion as well. But this brand, check them out on Instagram, Pinky Rose Cosmetics. They're one of my favorites. I actually was sent this as a gift, so this was gifted to me, but I love it. I've done a mini tutorial with this palette, I think 2. You guys should check those out. They're on my Instagram if you haven't seen them before. I do a lot of videos, so if you guys weren't aware of that, then you guys are missing out, and you guys don't have my notifications on. Next palette, of course, is Alien. I feel like this palette is meant for green lovers because of the 3 green shades in this particular palette. So you have your traditional green, your neon green, and your alien green. I'm going to go and wipe my fingers. So real quick, we're going to swatch these now that my fingers are clean. I'm going to go into all 3 of them, and we're going to swatch them side by side with the Pinky Rose for now. As you guys know, Jeffree Star has one of my favorite formulas for matte shadows. I'm going to go back into the neon one, which was Abduction, just because I feel like that's the lightest of the shades, and I want to make sure that you can see its true potential. And then I'm going to go over Alien, is it? Flying Saucer. So that is that color scheme there. It's really pretty if you own this palette on its own. This is like a look right here. I'm a fan. I'm such a fan of this like color scheme in this palette. Next palette is the Zulu palette, and I kind of feel a little bad that I did not use this palette for the orange and the yellow because they actually have really great shadows. Well, this brand has really great shadows, and I knew when I was going to do the green, I was like, well, since I haven't used it thus far, I was going to use it for this particular video for the metallic portion of it because I knew that the green in here was perfect. And it's super similar to the Alien one. Like this side is the Zulu one, and then this side is the Alien one. So I should have done them side by side, but as you can see, this is almost like a softer neon, and this is more of a yellow neon. I'm gonna get closer for you guys. So this is Zulu, and this side of course is Alien. I just love green. Like, I love green as a color scheme, and I feel like I had so much fun with this video. I almost didn't do green like blush, but I figured what the heck. I mean, you guys aren't going to copy the entire look, but if you guys did, then I would throw on a netting, and then I would actually make it more mermaid or poison ivy type look. Next is the Street Art palette. I've used this so far in every video. Again, like I said, this brand is so underrated. This palette is underrated, and I feel like it deserves a lot more love and recognition. So I'm sharing it with you guys a lot during the series. So I used Wasabi on the cheeks. Like, it's so pretty, and it blends out so pretty. And I use this as the blush. But like, look how gorgeous that is. So I'm gonna swatch on for you. Actually, let me switch hands so I can swatch it on this one. Go into Wasabi and Spring Green. I didn't use Spring Green in this particular look, mostly because I feel like I had been using a lot of the Street Art palette for a lot of my looks, and I didn't want you guys to be like, girl, change that. So let me dip in one more time. So that's those 2 shades in comparison to these. I feel like the Wasabi is definitely a softer neon. It's more of a wasabi color. I guess Wasabi's more of a deeper green. Like if you look at Wasabi with sushi, it's not as neon as this particular one. I don't know why I'm discussing that. But the Take Me Back to Brazil is the other one I use. I love the greens in this palette because they're a lot more electric versus your traditional greens. And I think that's what most palettes gravitates here towards, is a more wearable green, whereas this particular palette is good for neon green. So if you're really into the neon look, then this is the one I would go with for sure. I use this in my other videos as well because it does have a lot of neon oranges, neon reds, neon blues. I'm really excited to use it probably into my upcoming videos, but let me go into these twice. That one swatched so beautifully, but I want to make sure that the other ones look just as pigmented on camera. So that is what they look like. That's the last three here from the palette. This looks a lot more yellow on the skin, and that's because I have a lot of yellow in my undertones, so it looks different on different skin tones, because these type of shades always do, like the neon ones per se, I guess you would say. And then I have, last but not least, the chocolate palette that I use. I want to make sure I don't forget any, because in my last video I actually forgot to swatch one of the palettes I use, but it's okay. So I'm going to use Quest. This is, like I said, this for sure is a hunter green. Like, this was kind of the oddball because the palette itself isn't a very colorful palette, but it has a really pretty green. So if you're looking for something a little bit more neutral with a pop of green, then that's the palette I would go with. And I actually think Profusion's shadows are so underrated. I think it's Neutrals palette is just hands down one of my absolute favorite palettes, and it's like, it stays in my everyday drawer. It stays in my everyday drawer almost year round, and I've had it for about a year. So that's what that one looks like. This is what they look like together. Let me get a little bit closer for you guys. Side to side. I love like this range of greens. And I feel like if you wanted a solid range, then these are the ones I would suggest. Like I said, I know the James Charles palette also has some greens, but I didn't feel like pulling it out for this particular look. Obviously, this is a little bit intense, and a lot of people don't like this. It is for fun, you know. We're not doing this to like go to work for. So it's a fun look. We're doing this for fun. But these are it. That's it. That's what I wanted to share for this particular video. Again, like, I hope you like this series so far. It's more the eyeshadow look I think that people are focusing on, but for me, it's an all over look because I love doing the still photos at the end of this. I feel like it's really made me step out of my box a little bit. And that's been the best part of this series, is just tying it all together as a look. Like, honestly, if I really wanted to, I could throw a little bit of this on my lip to make it that much prettier. And I love having that option. Like, it's all about being fun with makeup. So I'm really excited to see what I'll do with the blue and the indigo and the violet. Of course, I play with a lot of purples in general, so I hope you guys come back for those videos. I hope you guys like this video. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you don't like this video, please just walk away, pretend it did not happen. But yeah, that's it. I will link all my social networks down below. If you haven't seen the rest of my series, then I will link those down below as well. Don't forget to watch those, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.